bike. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. This episode of Revved Up with Rev J is called George and the Bees. St. George and the Bees. This must be the fourth Rev J on Easter 3. Is it Easter 3 or is it Easter 4? I should know. I'm a vicar. Anyhow, oh my goodness, so much excitement. Look at this bee from when the girls were little. Do you remember that, Paul, when the girls were little? I do. Yeah, you do. He doesn't really. He's forgotten. Anyhow, George and the Bees, you might be wondering why I'm talking about George and the Bees. Actually, do you remember last time we found out that Ascension was May the 21st and that Pentecost was May the 31st? But I talked about some other saints, and St. George's Day was only 2 or 3 days ago, depending when you watch this, the 23rd of April, St. George's Day. Now, George is the patron saint of England, and amazingly, those Hebden boys, I think this is George, yeah, of course it's George, that's given us a little film and Lego. We can't have a whole episode without Lego about St. George. Take it away, George. Bzzz.
Hi, Rev J. This is George Hebden. And this is Henry Hebden. We're going to tell you the story of George and the dragon. A town was scared of a dragon. A young princess was offered to the dragon. When George heard about this, he rode into the village. When George slayed the dragon and rescued the princess. Hooray! Hooray! The end.
Hooray for St. George! Hooray for the fantastic Hebdens! Brilliant! Oh, it's got 2 sets of wings. Oh no, it's still got the tag in. That was dangerous for our children. My goodness, how's that been in all that time? Very bad parents. Anyway, bzzz, as I was saying, so that's George. What about the bees? Oh my goodness, that's just reminded me of a really amazing Where Are the Bees? I've just got to do this because it's so fantastic. This whole episode is George and the Bees, nothing else. And you're going to get another episode about something else after that. Okay, so here's the beehive, but where are the bees? They're hidden away where nobody sees. Here they come, out of the hive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bzzz. Oh, he's getting away from me. I can't tickle him. You're supposed to tickle when you go bzzz. Okay, anyhow, so you can do that to your granny or your dog or your parents or your brothers or sisters. But now, first of all, I've got a guest film, my friend Rev C, who's from Darlington, so she speaks a bit like that. She's not a bee, but she knows a lot about bees. We've got a film from her. We've got a film from Noah that he filmed himself. And we've got some fun facts from Henry. And then I need to give Rev C a ring and ask her about some other stuff to do with bees. So we're just going to buzz along to my friend Rev C. Bzzz.
Hello, Rev C here. I'm a friend of Rev J, and I live in Darlington, which is 284 miles away from New Alresford. And I received a letter this week from Rev J, and it says, Dear Rev C, we're all revved up here in New Alresford, and we've been talking about nature. And as you're a nature nerd, could you help us learn something about bees? Love, Rev J. Well, nature is something that's very close to my heart, and I have been watching All Revved Up with Rev J, and I noticed the other day that Eliza and Marina Emerson had the most amazing bug hotel. Now, I have a bug hotel, and it's over here in my garden, and I'll show you it now. Here it is, on the wall. There it is. And as you'll see, this isn't as posh as Marina and Eliza's, but I remember that Rev J asked me a question, and she said, what is the difference between an insect hotel or a bug hotel and a bee hotel? And the difference is This top bit here is for bees, so little solitary bees will crawl in there during the winter and they will go to sleep and hibernate in these little bamboo tunnels. These other little holes attract different types of insects, and as you can see at the bottom there's some pine cones there, and pine cones attract ladybirds. So when you buy a bug hotel, you'll find that they often have lots of different holes and different things in them to attract different types of insects. So if your hotel only has these sorts of things, these tubes of bamboo, then that's a bee hotel. But if it has bamboo and other things, it's a bee and it's an insect hotel. So that's very important. Now, bees are amazing creatures, as you will know, and they buzz around the garden, and that buzzing is a noise that is made by the wings beating, and those wings beat at 11,400 times a minute, and then we hear the buzzing noise as they go around the garden. And also, a bee can fly a terribly long way. So a normal bee, like a bumblebee or a honeybee particularly, can fly probably around 6 miles at 15 miles an hour. Now, there are lots of different types of bees, and I wanted to show you them. This bee here, this is a white-tailed bee, and if you look out in your garden, you'll be able to see those. So they have a white bottom, and then below that, we've got a picture of a red-tailed bee, and a red-tailed bee is another common bee, bumblebee, that you'll find. So what I'd like you to do is have a look at the flowers in your garden and spot the bumblebees and see whether they've got a white bottom or a red bottom. And if you can draw a picture of these bees, it will be even better. The other type of bee we see, I've got a picture here, is an amazing bee. It's a honeybee. And you can see there's a honeybee that has a black and gold body. And then below it, and these are the types of bees that would live in your bee hotel, which is a solitary bee. And can you see there, you can see on its legs there's some sacs of pollen. And those little sacs of pollen actually collect on the bee's legs on hairs. And those hairs are also on its tummy. So you may see bees flying around with little sacs of pollen as they go around pollinating various flowers. And the amazing thing is that for every pot of honey that honeybee produces, they have to actually visit 2 million flowers. 2 million flowers. Isn't that absolutely amazing? They must be exhausted. And the other good thing to note is that bees don't communicate like we do in terms of speaking. What do bees do in order to communicate to each other and talk to each other? Well, they dance. And just imagine if we went to church and we met each other outside the entrance. If the only way we could speak to each other was dancing, the place would be chaos. So it's as well that we aren't like bees and do what they call the waggle dance to talk to each other. So I hope that helps, and I hope that solves some of the problems around bees and helps you understand just how important they are for our day-to-day health, because they actually enable us to produce a third of our fruit and vegetables in this country by visiting flowers and pollinating them on our behalf. So we should be grateful and give thanks to God for bees. Be good.
Thank you, Rev C. It's all bugs, bees and bottoms with you, isn't it? A pity we didn't get a demonstration of the waggle dance, though. Oh, hello. Now it's time for Noah and his film about bees and his, narration about bees. Here he comes. Bzzz. Shh. Time for Noah.
We found minor bees in our lawn. I sat with my mum's phone by the bee's hole and filmed one going in. I researched the minor bees to learn about them. We found out they are very helpful to have in your garden, and they don't sting.
Thank you, Noah. That was very brilliant filming, and Paul was really impressed. But I think when you've got a bee on you, you're not supposed to move so it doesn't get upset. So we're going to go straight to Henry's fun facts about bees.
Hi, this is Henry. I have made a bee for you. Here are my 3 favourite bee facts. Bees have 5 eyes and 6 legs. Bees can boogie. When the worker bees come home to their hive, they perform a dance to the other worker bees to show them where to find food. Bees can see all colours except from red. Bye for now.
Thank you, Henry, for those amazing, brill, fun facts. And you mentioned bees doing boogie. We are so going to have to find out this bee boogie dance. Bzz. The bee... what's your name? Oh, it's a beanie. Guess what his name is? You'll never, ever guess. It's so original. Buzzy. Buzzy the bee. Buzzy the beanie bee is saying that we need to ring Rev C and find out some more stuff about bees. So I'm going to have to ring her and ask her particularly about that bee that Noah had. I mean, how do you even spell minor bee? Is it O or E? And what do they do? And was it a girl or a boy bee that Noah filmed? Do you know, Noah? My friend Rev C knows. Yes. Bzzz. So anyhow, do you remember seeing Rev C a little bit earlier? So we've got lots of bee experts on this programme. We've got Noah, who sent you the film, and we've got Henry and George, and we're going back now to a call with Rev C. Can I call you Rev C the bee expert? So
Well,
here she is.
You're expert, really.
You're the what expert?
It's more nature than just bee.
Oh, so you're a general practitioner of animals. Give us a wave, Rev C. I've got lots of families watching, and they're all very keen to hear about bees. So did you see that film with that minor bee that we just looked at?
I did. It was amazing. And
Now-
I have to say, I had to concentrate very hard because the bee was moving so quickly.
Yes. How did he get that film? That was amazing.
I don't know. He must have moved so quickly across the garden. So shall I show you the picture of Noah's bee?
Yes. And I don't know how to spell minor. Is it minor with an O or minor with an E?
An F.
Minor.
These are the two bit. Now these are the bees that I believe Noah has seen in his garden. This is the bee that Noah saw, and this is an early minor bee. And this is a
Okay.
girl. This is the female.
A
and
girl.
this-
Okay.
Male. So you can see the difference. The female bees are much prettier than males.
Oh, yes. Well, just like you and me, Revsy.
Exactly. So his bee had a big auburn red tuft. And if he looked very closely, he'd have to get very close though. It has a little tiny orange tuft on its bottom.
Can you see its orange bottom, Paul? Little. It's a bit like a bunny tail, except it's orange. I see right on the end. We've got that. I do wish that would go away. Anyhow, never mind.
These bees, these come out in April and May time, and they love fruit trees. So I would dare bet that in Noah's garden, he's probably got apple or pear trees or hawthorn trees that are flowering at the moment. And they love
Ooh.
them. They pollinate fruit trees.
Right, Noah, we have to know about the trees in your garden. Yeah, we need to know. Okay, thank you. I love those pictures. So basically, you tell the difference between a female and a male minor bee because the female's prettier and she has an orange bottom. It's all about bottoms with bees, it seems.
Well, the girls are always much fluffier. The boys are thinner and less fluffy.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the boys are thinner in our house as well.
Exactly.
And of course, you're Andrew doing all that lycra cycling. Anyhow, so now last time, you, at the end of your film, when we heard it just a little while ago, you said that bees are responsible for about a third of our fruit and veg. And I've been thinking, like, what, do they go shopping? What do they do? Do they, like, dig holes in the soil and plant red peppers? Or what do they do?
No. They fly from flower to flower collecting pollen and pollinate the crops. So 80% of the world's plants are actually pollinated by bees. So if you think about the food that bees pollinate, the flowers that bees pollinate,
Right.
every bite of food that we take is produced by a bee. So out of every 3 bites of food, 1 bite is attributable to a bee.
All
So
our
if you
fruits and veg. Out of all our fruits and veg.
If you look now, I can show you this. Can you see that tray of fruits
I
and
can.
vegetables?
Is that your shopping? Have you been shopping this morning?
I have. And all of these things that are in my fridge have been produced by bees. So nuts,
No.
the walnuts, they pollinate vegetable flowers and they pollinate fruit flowers. And there's a pear that maybe Noah has in his garden in a pear tree.
Ooh.
Mustard.
Mustard.
Seeds.
Oh
And
yes, because it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow in a jar, of course. It grows in little mustard cress.
That's right. They take the seeds and then they grind them up. And then
Okay.
of course the honey.
Ooh.
And in the world we get about 2 million tons of honey a year. And I want you to guess, Revsy. I want you to guess.
2 million. Hang on.
Where is more?
Start again because I missed the beginning of the question.
All right.
Okay.
Where is most of the world's honey made?
Whereas
In which
most,
country?
I should point out that Revsy is from Darlington, which is why she says, "Where's the most? Where's the most honey in the world produced? What country?"
What country? Have a guess.
Holland.
China.
No.
1/4 of the world's honey comes from China.
Really? Do they have loads of bees then?
They do. They have many, many bees. So the bees, but the problem is at the moment there is a virus that's infecting bees, like the virus that's infecting us humans at the
The
moment.
same one? Not
It's
the
a
same
different
one.
one. It's called
Okay.
the Varroa virus.
The hoodie?
The Varroa. It's a Varroa mite that
Varroa.
infects.
Ooh. A mite.
And-
Effect. Ugh.
This mite goes on to the bee, and it burrows into the bee and lays its eggs, and then it infects. So when the bee babies are born, the bee babies don't have properly formed wings, so they can't fly, and it's a very, very big threat to the bee population.
Oh my goodness. Imagine a bee who can't fly. They can't do the
Exactly.
pollinating thing.
So
Oh my
that's why
goodness.
we take good care of them.
Yeah, some people are beekeepers in this country, aren't they? But I've never been brave enough. You have to put like a big net hat on, don't you? And what do they do with smoke? They do something with smoke and bees.
Smoke sort of sedates a bee. It makes it sleepy. But one thing Noah mentioned about the bee that he has in his garden, its early minor bee. He said it doesn't sting,
Yes.
and that is true to an extent. But it can actually sting if it chooses to. But very rarely would it. But there's a scale called the Schmidt scale, which is
Schmidt.
the Schmidt scale, and it measures the pain that the bee sting or the insect sting gives you. And if Noah's bee stung him, it would be 1 on the Schmidt scale, which means it would just feel like a little spark flying from a fire on your skin. It would be nothing.
Okay.
Whereas a 10, if this particular type of ant bites you and it's a 10, it supposedly feels like an electric shock going through your body. It's so bad.
Oh, we don't want any of those.
Just to remind you that on the 20th of May, although it's St. Bernardino of Siena's Saint's Day,
Right.
it's also World Bee Day.
World Bee Day. You mean they have a day to themselves across the world? May the 20th. Ooh, we'll have to.
We all wear stripy tops in honour of the bee on the 20th of May.
Rev C, you could just put some yellow tape around your tummy on your black top in intervals.
That's a good idea.
And some wings. You'd obviously need some wings. Right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you again then, Rev C. Thanks for telling us all your stuff. Bye. Well, that was very B-mazing, wasn't it, B? Did you get that? B-mazing as opposed to amazing. It's B-mazing. Bzzz. It was totally amazing. Now, we started to talk about honey there. And, you know, there are loads of things. I don't know whether you would think about it for a church being bothered about creation. I want you to know about a thing called the 5 marks of mission. Now, would you believe that the 5th mark of mission is all about looking after the planet? So, as followers of Jesus, we are supposed to care for creation and the planet. That's what I want to know all these things about for. So, any more you can tell me about looking after the planet? I mean, we recycle all like different things in different places in this house. Do you recycle different things in different places? What else do you do to help the environment and especially global warming and plastic and all that bad stuff? So please tell me so we can keep working on our 5 marks of mission. But our next episode is going to feature horses and other pets, and it's called People and Their Pets. Nay! That's a horse saying yes. Nay! We decided. No, the bee's gone. The bee's gone. So we are going to see you next time. Wah? No, not wah. That's a lamb. Nay! No, but that sounds like no. But it is yes. We're going to see you next time. And I've got 2 guests. Oops, sorry. No, just go. Blue funky moped. Blue funky moped. Move, 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 funky moped, move. Funky moped. Bzz, 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 bzz.